Hello ladies and gents, welcome back. It's been a long time since the last video, but I'm gonna pick up where I left, and that was at the Cincinnati. That was my latest video, but now I'm back in full swing. I'm gonna continue making tennis videos, hopefully. And the only reason why I have been away so much, so many months, is because I actually didn't have any time. But I hope everybody is well that are following my videos and watching this channel. I'd like to thank you that you have not run away from me. I'm still here. I'm gonna give you my thoughts about the Australian Open because this news is not unheard in the tennis world. Everybody knows by now that this Novak gate, this circus around the circumstances that has been around Novak to be or not to be in the AO, in the draw, has finally, I hope, ended recently, like 1 or 2 hours ago, when they decided to put Novak away. The immigration minister Alex Hogg decided to cancel Novak's visum. So Novak is out of the tournament. His lawyers, of course, gonna appeal this. But I think the last train has gone now for Novak Djokovic, and this whole circus is just a mess. And I'm finally that it's over and we can focus on tennis now. Because if you look at the draw, if you look at the top 100 players in the world, I think 97 of them are vaccinated. So Novak took focus from all of these players in the tournament to be all about him. It's his own fault, I think, and he should blame himself. You have to follow the rules, even though as a big and huge tennis lover, I would love to have seen Novak in the draw because he's a player I like to watch. He's the best player, and I always want the best players to play the biggest tournament. But since he didn't follow the rules, he has himself to blame. Clowns like Monfils, Kyrgios, Paire, and other bunch of other dudes that are not dedicated so much to tennis, they could have stayed home instead, but rules are rules. And with that said, I'm going to go into the draw now. I don't want to talk and waste too much energy about this drama that has, I hopefully has ended now. And they have put him out of the draw also. So I think it's going to be a lucky loser that's going to take his place. And that's going to be on the top half of the draw because he was a top seed. But we have a bunch of other players that we can focus on, and there are plenty good players left in this tournament. So I hope everybody has taken an sneak peek on the draw. I took a sneak peek on the draw yesterday and discussed a little bit with my friend about it. So I have come to the conclusion it was very difficult to make an preview in my mind, but now I have decided, and since Novak is out, it's gonna be even more difficult because in advanced, it's all about a couple of players that can always win this Grand Slam. Not everybody are a title contender, and that's not the case this year either. But since Novak is gone, he had the chance of winning his 10th Grand Slam here. The door is wide open for a couple of more players. You know, when Novak is out now, many of the players will get that extra boost in their confidence because when Novak is on court, when Novak is in the draw, everybody's... I'm not saying they are scared, but he doesn't make life easier against his opponent. They know that he's a beast. He's his mindset is out of this world. So this will give some players... It's certainly going to open up the draw, without a doubt. So on the top half of the draw, where Novak is out, we have a lucky loser, I think, or a qualifier. I don't know how they're going to fill that place in, but it's going to be a good draw for the guys in the top section, I think. And I'm going to make a top 8 candidate list like I always do. And on my number 8 spot, I'm going to leave that with a question mark because Novak was supposed to be in that position in my preview before this thing happened, I had Novak as an final candidate actually, but now he's gone. So one of the players like Garin, Monfils, Sonego, Bublik, Query, maybe Tommy Paul have a chance to reach the second week. But who of these guys is gonna reach the second week? Query has reached the third round 6 times in Australian Open in his career. Bublik the second round as his best results. Garin the second round as his best results. Monfils has reached the quarterfinals, and Sonego has reached the second round at his best. And Monfils won a pre-tournament before, like he always does. He starts the year tremendously good, and after that, in the first quarter, after the first quarter of the year, he's disappearing as usual. The usual pattern for Gael Monfils. But this year has looked more well-trained. He withdrawn from the Sydney tournament, or was it Adelaide, the second of these 2 tournaments due to an injury. I'm not sure if he's gonna participate, but I think that was a precaution thing. So I think that he's gonna play. He has changed his racket brand, so he's here to collect. So I have to put him, Bublik, Query, Garin, Monfils, or so one of these guys is gonna take the 8th spot, but it's a hell of a circus there too. So all of these players are so inconsistent that all of them can drop in the first round. So I will not be surprised if none of these 5 players that I mentioned on my top 8 list will get there. So it's gonna be very difficult. So I will just jump on to the next number, and that's my spot number 7. Who do I have there? I have the young Italian Yannick Sinner, who faces a qualifier in the first round. In the second round, he's gonna meet the guys, the battle of the mustache. You know mustache. That's between Johnson and Thompson. One of these guys is gonna reach the second round, and I think that will be Thompson. So we're gonna take on Sinner there, and in the third round, I think if Andy Murray can get through Bashavili in the first round, I think that he has a decent chance of taking on Yannick Sinner in the third round. He can actually take out Yannick Sinner. Murray has changed his racket, also has changed the head size of his racket. He's now in the final in one of these tournament I mentioned. I think it's in Sydney, or was it Adelaide? I forgot. But Murray has done a strong performance in the beginning of this year. I'm really impressed by Andy Murray to come back from this hip injury. And I will not be surprised if he takes out Yannick Sinner. But I think that the young Italian, the hard-hitting young Italian, will take out Andy Murray. But I cannot just stop and thinking about Andy Murray, because it's not easy to come back in a brutal sport like tennis after being away for so long and then try to come back. He had some failures in the beginning, but Murray still looking sharp. He doesn't move as well as before, but he has experience. He has the shot tolerance. He has the mindset. He has the tools in the box to dictate and just pull the trigger when it's necessary. So Yannick Sinner will definitely have a tough task to get through Andy Murray. And in the fourth round, I think that he's gonna meet either Casper Ruud or Alex de Minaur. Both of them have looked very good lately. De Minaur especially. Is this the year when he's gonna take this huge step that everybody has waiting? I don't want to bet my money on de Minaur, but on the other hand, he has nothing to lose. He's plays in Australia, his home soil, so I think that he can reach deep in this tournament. And the same goes for Casper Ruud, who has developed his game from being a clay court specialist to an all-court specialist. So I will not be surprised if one of these guys takes out Sinner also. But Sinner, I think that he will land in the second week. He will play the quarterfinal. And I think that he has a great chance of making a great tournament finally. But will it be enough? We will see. I don't think so. So he should be glad if he can reach the second week. And on my sixth spot, I have Felix Auger Aliasime. And why do I have him here? Because he has progressed. He finally won his first title when he won the ATP Cup, but it's not a single time, it's a team's cup, so that will give him some extra boost. He has played more solid, has developed his returns, he's starting to play smarter, and he reached the quarterfinals of Wimbledon last year, and then he followed that up with a semi-final spot at US Open. I actually had him as a quarterfinal candidate at Wimbledon. It was a long shot, but I believed in him, and this time I believe that he will reach the second week also. He have the Finnish guy Rusorvi in the first round. I think that he will take on Davidovich Fokina in the second round, and then he will either play Poporin or Goffin. But one of these dudes is gonna reach the third round, I believe. And the fourth round, he has his first and biggest test, and that's Andrei Rublev. Rublev haven't looked really super sharp lately. He is very inconsistent. He has this huge forehand. He serves great, but the lack of motivation sometimes, that he disappears a lot from the match, and that he creates a lot of winners, we know, but he also spreading those balls, and his racket is not always doing the talking here. So I think that Rublev's journey will end in the fourth round against Aliasime, but we all know that Aliasime has always also been inconsistent, but that semi-final spot at US Open just told me that Aliasime has taken that next step, and I'm waiting for him to win his first title. He has been in 8 finals, lost all of them. He won the ATP Cup. Is that going to give him boost? Yes, of course it's gonna do. He has improved his return. He has a huge weapon in his first serves and in his forehand, and this surface will probably give him that necessary boost. So it will for sure benefit his game. All right, on my fifth place, number 5. Who do I have there? I have the 20-time champion, Rafael Nadal. Why do I have him so low, you think? Novak is out. Maybe I can put him up higher. It's because I think that Nadal, who has not won this tournament since 2009, I think that this year actually he has a great chance of winning this tournament. But he has to get through 3 big hard hitters and a ball machine. The ball machine and hard hitter is Medvedev, and the other hand is Alexander Zverev, and then mostly Berrettini, a guy that he will take out any day of the week. But I believe that his journey will end in the quarterfinal. Unfortunately, and Rafa, we all know. Do I really have to explain what kind of player Rafa Nadal is and what he and how he will play? His serve is okay. It's decent. It gives him a lot of points, but it's not his hugest assets. He's still competing in the highest level. He still moves well around the court, but Rafa has the mindset. He has the all-court game. He has his forehand. He has a great backhand. His returns are great, but it has been not good as it was before because he is not moving as well as he has done before. But Rafael Nadal, all in all, is a guy that you have to consider. Is a guy you have to have in your mind because Rafa's first week opponent is players like that he eats for breakfast. Seriously, Marcus Giron. Have you ever seen a player without weapon that played the ball short as he has done? He's still ranked number 53 in the world, and I'm still wondering how that guy can be ranked at number 53. I don't have nothing against him, but what I have seen, he doesn't create much on court. He just depending on his opponents to make unforced errors. So Giron in the first round and Kokkinakis in the second round, and then Khachanov if he takes his big tall body into the third round, and then you have Hurkacz or Karatsev in the fourth round. One of these guys is gonna give him his first test, because Kokkinakis, many guys has hyped him because he has come back from injuries, has beaten a couple of great players. He beat Roger Federer, I think it was in Miami or Indian Wells in 2018. I forgot which event it was. But Nadal, seriously, guys, do you really think that Nadal is going to lose to a guy in the second round of that quality? I don't think so. But upset can happen. It has happened before. But Nadal is so consistent. He is so fierce. His highest level is so high that he will take his teeth into the second week. Because I think that his first test will be against Karatsev or Hurkacz. Karatsev is still left in one of these tournaments. I think it was in Sydney. I've mixed them up all the time, folks. It's not difficult. It's very difficult to keep everything in mind. But Karatsev or Hurkacz in the fourth round, maybe Rafa will drop a set. I don't think none of these guys. The guy that have actually a chance of taking him out before the quarterfinals is Karatsev. Because he's a ready, steady baseline player. Hurkacz is great from the baseline, but he doesn't have the weapons and the shot making skills to take out Rafael Nadal. So Rafa is on my number 5th place, and then I'm gonna go into my 4 top candidates, and they are who? These guys. Berrettini. Last year, when he played Grand Slams, he got beaten by Novak 3 times. And all of those matches, he took a set from Novak. It was in the Australian Open, I think. It was at the US Open and the Wimbledon final, of course. That is fresh in my memory. So the Italian guy has a really great chance because his draw has opened up really well. Because in the first round, he's going to meet Nakashima, Japanese guy, a guy that he should take out pretty comfortably. And then he have Vesely in the second round, I think. And then he has his biggest and first test, and that is in Alcaraz in the third round. If he can get through Alcaraz, I think that he will play the semifinals. Alcaraz, who has done great work lately, but still has to improve in Grand Slams. He's still a young prospect. He has the time on his side. If he can play like he did in the last quarter of the last year, he has really, this battle can go to a decider. He can even take out Berrettini. But Berrettini has a huge serve, a huge forehand that should suit him at this surface. So I think that Berrettini will take his... his racket will do the talking here. So he will... in the fourth round, he have a bunch of dudes that he can meet. Most of them are very inconsistent. It could be PCB, Fabio Fognini, Cameron Norrie, who did a great run last year. Sebastian Corda, maybe. I don't know. But Berrettini's draw is great, I think. And I think that he will take on one of these guys that I mentioned on my 8th spot in the quarterfinals and reach the semifinals. That's why I have him as a number 4 candidate. All right, the Italian, I know maybe I followed him around. He's a big, hard-hitting guy. He has plenty of pace and power in his racket, and I think that he will be strong in this. He will be prepared, and if he's not getting injured like last year. A little correction, I think that maybe Djokovic beat him at the French Open and he withdrawn from the Australian Open last year, or was it the year before? But anyway, this hard-hitting Italian, his game style is suited for this fast courts and high ball bounce at Australian Open. So I will have him as my number 3 spot. And on my number three spot, the third spot, I have reserved it for a guy that hasn't impressed me the last 2 3 months. Why? Because been injury, had an elbow injury. The young Greek, is he still young? No, he's in the phase in his career that he should be in his prime. He hasn't played rock solid lately, and that is due to his elbow injury that I told. So, what has his team done? The young Greek has changed the strings of his racket to a more softer string because his other string were more stiff. That causes injury. He didn't change racket, but that and I think they changed the string bed also from a hybrid to a full bed of polyester strings, but more softer strings to reduce the injury. And he needs that because he's a great player. He's the guy that reminds me most of Roger Federer. So, but he's in left one. He has played with his one-hand backhand. We all know that his backhand and his return is his main weakness because he has less time to swing. He's not in Roger Federer yet. He's not in Stan Wawrinka yet. Those two players together are the guys that has. They are the only guys since 1998 that has won the Australian Open with a one-handed backhand. Before them, Peter Korda, Sebastian Korda's father, was the latest guy who won the Australian Open with a one-handed backhand, and that was in 1998. So I think I don't give him the title contender chance, but everything can happen. But he has to get through Medvedev first, and a couple of other guys that are on his draw, and that are the Swedish guy Michael Ymer, who's taking on is the deja vu from last year, where he beat Ymer pretty comfortably in the third round, and then I think he will take on Baez, the Argentinian guy. And maybe Dimitrov, if he can take himself to the third round. And in the fourth round, he would either face RBA or Tyler Fritz. Fritz has really played great lately. He has improved his game. He's playing more aggressive. And he doesn't play his usual baseline game. He takes a step into the court. He's more aggressive. He tried to execute the points better. He has started to return better. And he has a great serve, so Tyler Fritz can cause an upset in the fourth round. I will not be surprised. RBA, on the other hand, I think is on his decline now. I used to call him Mr. Quarterfinal guy together with Kei Nishikori, but I think his journey will end in the fourth round. And the Greek, what does he has in his possession that makes him so dangerous? It's his first strike tennis. It's his first serve. It's his hard-hitting forehand that create plenty of winners. You need those winners here. You don't have so much time to swing here, and that's why his backhand can be a difficulty for him, because the more consistent player will aim for that spot. They will take advantage of that spot, and he has in semifinal as his best spot here. So the young Greek needs to be on his toe. He needs to not to waste so much energy on his matches, because if he's gonna play in the semifinal and play against the ball machine, I'm gonna go into his name. He has to really step up, but his elbow injury is an issue. The string pattern, because in ATP Cup he has spread many balls with his new string bed. He has spread those balls. He has made a ton of errors. So can he correct that? That's the question. What will he do? Because in a fresh and fit Tsitsipas is playing the semifinal, and I'm going with that. So I will have him there. On my number second spot, that means that is the runner-up. Who is that? It's the double fault machine, Alexander Zverev. No, I'm just joking. He's not a double fault machine. He was a double fault machine. I like Alexander Zverev. He won the ATP finals for the second time. He still missed that Grand Slam. He wants to be in the same league as Medvedev and Thiem. and Wawrinka, of course, and many of other bunch of players that have won a Grand Slam. But if we count the new generation that are not older than 25, 26, he still misses that Grand Slam. Now it's big time for Sasha Zverev because Novak is not here, Federer is not here. Those are the guys that has played best on the surface. We still have Nadal, we still have Medvedev, we still have Tsitsipas. Those are the guys, maybe Berrettini. Those are the guys that's gonna blockade Zverev from lifting the trophy. But Zverev has a great draw also, in my opinion. He's gonna meet his fellow countryman Altmaier in the first round, a guy that he should take out. In the next time, Millman or Feliciano Lopez. If he meets Millman, he should be ready for a grinding party because Millman won't surrender that easy. But Sasha has the firepower, and he will hit through him. In the third round, he has probably the South African tall guy, Lloyd Harris, and in the fourth round, this is gonna raise my eyebrow a little bit, and that's Shapovalov. Dennis Shapovalov. He has impressed me really much in the ATP Cup. He has played strong tennis. He has changed his racket to a little bigger frame from the V-Core 97 to an E-Zone 98, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And that racket has caused some magic in the ATP Cup. Chapo has played great, terrific, high-octanic tennis, and I'm really impressed with him. So my thought is, am I going to go for an upset here? Can Shapovalov take out Zverev? Of course he can. He has played so great lately. And Sasha played great at ATP Cup, but he lost a single match there. I forgot who it was against. And Sasha beat Nadal last year in the quarterfinal, and he's not here. He lost in the semifinal last year against Medvedev. He's out here to take revenge. So Sasha Zverev, he has really played great in this tournament. He should not be ashamed of his what he has done here. And in the quarterfinal, I think that he will take on Nadal. They met, I think, in 2017, where he played 5 sets. Correction, it was Tsitsipas who took out Nadal last year, if I'm not mistaken. So Alexander Zverev had a great task in front of him against Rafael Nadal. But this German, when he's serving, when he's in the zone, when his serve doesn't click, he's awful to meet. He's a 200-kilometer serve, the bomb heavy serve that you need to take out Rafael Nadal. You have to give Nadal either his medicine, the same medicine that he gives to you, or play hard, huge grand strokes down the line with great power, and have a great serve and serve bombs. And Alexander Sasha Zverev is that player. He has that nuclear weapons that can take out everybody on a good day. If his serve works, if his forehand and backhand swing works, he's awful to meet. Not many guys can resist that pressure that he gives his opponent. And that's why I have him as my runner-up. And on my number one spot, who do I have here? Are there really any players left here that you have in your mind? Are there really any other candidates that can lift this trophy besides Daniil Medvedev, the fresh Grand Slam champion, who finally a guy beat, beside the big three, beat one of the big threes in a Grand Slam final. I was waiting for that for a long time. He ended Novak Djokovic's dream of completing a calendar Grand Slam. So Daniil Medvedev is coming very confident to this tournament. He got schooled in the Australian Open last year against Novak Djokovic. He played great for like 4 or 5, 6 games, and the Novak just outplayed him. Outplayed him. It was nothing else, my friends. Medvedev didn't play bad. Novak outplayed him. And I even said that in my reaction video. So Daniil Medvedev have a great chance of cashing in his second Grand Slam. Who does he play against in the first week? He has Laaksonen and maybe Kyrgios if he's playing. I'm not sure if he's playing. He was tested positively with COVID-19 in the second round. And in the third round, he's either playing Hugo Humbert or Jan-Lennart Struff. And in the fourth round, we'll take on Schwartzman, I think, or Isner if he can serve his way to the fourth round. I don't believe that. Maybe. You never know. But none of these guys. If you look at the draw, I think that Daniil Medvedev had the most comfortable draw into the second week. And I think that we reached there. He's just too consistent. He's just too rock solid. He's just too... he serves too great. And this surface really suits his game. This big serve, this ball bounce, his movement is so great. So he's gonna walking and dancing around the baseline and make his opponents uncomfortable. He's gonna be a wall. He's gonna send everything back to his opponents, and that's why I think he's the best player. He's the best player right now with Novak out. He's the most consistent player when Novak is out. He's the most rock solid player when the draw has been reduced. So in the quarterfinals, I think that I will have to say a couple of words about them also. Berrettini against of these either one of Garin, Monfils, Sonego, Bublik, I don't know. I'm not guessing anymore. I'm not predicting that anymore. But Berrettini is gonna play the semifinal. Nadal against Zverev. It's gonna be a tough battle. Nadal is up 6-3 in head-to-head, but Sasha is not scared of him. Many of these players are not scared of Nadal anymore, especially on this surface. On clay, he can bully them, but not on hard court. We have seen them many times. It's a Grand Slam now. Can Nadal reach the second week without wasting too much energy? Yes, he will. He's consistent. But that doesn't mean that Zverev is going to take him out easily. He's gonna struggle. He's gonna fight. He will have to fight for his life because Rafael Nadal is not gonna surrender it easy. But he's not gonna give Nadal any time with his hard-hitting ground stroke, and of course he hit that ball so hard with that pace. So he's gonna push Nadal back far, and he's gonna squeeze unforced arrows out of his hand. He will probably take the racket out of Rafael Nadal's hand. That's what you have to do on every surface to take him out. You have to play your best tennis to take Rafael Nadal out. That's why I think Zverev is gonna win. He has too much power, and he's gonna push Nadal back. But if Nadal takes him out, I will definitely not be surprised. If Nadal wins this tournament for the second time in his career, I will not be surprised. He actually has a chance to do that. But there are too many obstacles for him in the semifinals. He has maybe take on Berrettini, a guy that he can beat, but can he take out Medvedev? I think that the draw is not talking into Nadal's favor as much as it does for Medvedev. So that's why I think Zverev win that quarterfinal. And on the bottom of the draw, Medvedev will take on Aliasime. He's up 3-0 against him. They met in the US Open semi-final, 3 straight sets for Medvedev. He won pretty comfortably that match, and he's looking too sharp, consistent. He would punish Aliasime's inconsistency from the baseline time after time. He will make him suffer. He will take care of his serve. He returns great. One thing for sure, Medvedev is a great server, both on first and second serve. He has a great forehand. He has great backhand that he likes to push around his opponent from corner to corner. He's consistent from the baseline. He barely makes mistakes. So when you are good at all those 5 departments is very hard to hit through Aliasime, Medvedev. So I think that Aliasime's run is ending there. And Tsitsipas is 2-1 against Sinner. That match is also difficult. But if Tsitsipas reaches the quarterfinal, that means that he has done his job that I expected. He doesn't have any problem with his elbow. His racket is working as it done before. Because Tsitsipas is the kind of player that makes a lot of unforced errors in a game, in a match. Because his game is risky. It's the same with Roger Federer. If he can just create those winners with his forehand and keep his serve up, he's a threat. And he will take out Sinner, I think. It's a 60-40 matchup here. And I'm going to go directly into the semifinals. I think that Medvedev will meet Tsitsipas. He's 6-2 up. He's 2 up in Grand Slams. He won the Australian Open and US Open against the Tsitsipas. And Tsitsipas beat Medvedev in the French Open 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So they've never met in any finals, this guy, even they met each other 8 times. So this rivalry is just a normal rivalry. If you want to have a great rivalry, I think that you have to meet a couple of times in the finals also. That makes the rivalry much more exciting. So I think that Tsitsipas will lose against Medvedev in 4 sets. And in the other semifinal, I think that Berrettini will meet Sasha Zverev. Sasha Zverev is up 4-1. They have never met in any Grand Slams. But I think that Sasha Zverev all-court game will be advantage for him. Berrettini's backhand is much weaker than Alexander's backhand, so it's going to be a battle of holding serves here. If Berrettini can hold his serve to tiebreak, this matchup is going to be very interesting. If Sasha does the same, it's going to be interesting. But Sasha overall has a better game. His game has much structure. It's more rock solid than Berrettini, but he has that huge forehand. So if Zverev can take an advantage of that, I will not be surprised. So in the final, I think that Medvedev and Zverev are going to play. I forgot the head-to-head between them, but it's not rocket science that Medvedev is the favorite here, a slight favorite. Zverev can definitely take him out on a good day if everything works for him in his right way. If he can push back and take his teeth and return good on Medvedev's serve. If he can take his teeth into his serve and just break him once here and there and be mental focused and doesn't spread those forehands all over the court, I think that Medvedev will have problem with Sasha, because Sasha has lost the final in US Open when he has 2 sets up against Dominic Thiem. He's really waiting for that trophy. But Medvedev, on the other hand, is finally cementing in his place as one of the newest member of the Big Three. So with Roger out and Rafa out in the quarterfinal, I think that Medvedev will lift the trophy. And before that, I have some dark horses. I can't help of mentioning Shapovalov. He can really take out Zverev. He has played great in the beginning of this in the ATP Cup. So Shapovalov has the serve. He has the firepower. He has that huge backhand when it works. But the problem is he has not that. His shot tolerance is still weak, but he has improved that on in the ATP Cup. So I'm really impressed by Shapo. So if one guy is going to take him out, taking Zverev out before the quarters, it's Shapo. Then I have Kasparov, Alcaraz, maybe Rublev, or Murray, or Fritz. And flops, I think that it's the usual guys that don't deliver, like Dimitrov, Monfils, maybe Karatsev is gonna not reach more than the 4th round. Anyway, guys, Medvedev will lift his 2nd trophy. I think that he will be the champion of Australian Open. Thank you for watching this video. Take care and bye bye.